Hey y'all, it's January the 4th, 2018, and as we continue into the series, which like I said is going to be pretty long, a long series of videos, there's so many details to discuss. Basically, it can be thought of as a whole college course. I want to stress this. The reason I'm going into such detail, why these are such lengthy videos, is that at the end of this road, we're going to find all sort of clarity. We're not going to be confused in the slightest about what's going on and where it leads to. Right? There's not going to be a person at the end of this road who's going to think to themselves, boy, I want to be a part of this scenario, unless they're young, nerdy men who might get a lot of money later and they might want to be part of this scenario. But everybody at the end of this road is going to clearly understand that, yes, indeed, women get trampled on in this scenario. They're absolutely held down. It absolutely is sexist. By definition, it's disgusting. And it should be their main focal point, and it's not. All right. So we're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss all sort of factors are going to come to light that really explain to us the gravity of the nature of what's going on. All right. We're all going to understand something quite clearly at the end of this, and that's why, we're having a whole course about it. That's why we're analyzing all the details and stuff, because there is a nitty grittiness to it. There's a certain ugliness that you have to see until you know, this isn't good. This isn't good, because here's the thing. The human nature, and I have to admit that this definitely applies to me, it especially applies to me, is that you hear about these sexually adventurous things, and you might even get excited, maybe curious. You might be like, oh man, what would that feel like? Oh, that might feel all sort of crazy good. All right? But when you see the ugliness that obviously comes with it every single time, you'll definitely be deterred from even thinking about it. It'll become something that's not... It's not taboo. Oh, we're not supposed to do it because we're not supposed to do it. It will become, I don't want to be a part of this world because it's disgusting and demeaning to me, and so I'm going to stay away from it. Everybody's going to be quite coherent in thinking to themselves, why in the world would I demean myself in such ways as to be a part of this scenario that a lot of people find themselves becoming a victim to? A lot of people are manipulating in all sort of different ways, and it is all sexually perverse. All right, there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot to discuss. Continuing with this article. It's actually a pretty long article. The next part, just to read a little bit before we get out of here. The next part is called Founder Hounders. Founder Hounders. All right, that's an interesting aspect that's brought up by these VCs, by these founders. What's called Founder Hounders, what you would equate it to is a gold digger. And just regular. It's called Founder Hounders. They have a specific word for a gold digger in the tech community. They call them Founder Hounders. All right. Anyways, there is an often told story that Silicon Valley is filled with women looking to cash in by marrying wealthy tech moguls. Really? I never would have thought so. Alright? Obviously this is happening. Whether there really is a significant number of such women is debatable. Alright? That is to say that when you consider the amount of women who are chasing athletes or politicians or whatever else, people who have money, it's not typical for them to even chase the Silicon Valley guys. All right, it isn't typical. That is debatable. That there is a significant number of people who can legitimately be called founder hounders. All right, so that is debatable. However, in the world of sports, that's not debatable at all. You see that women voraciously go after the athletes, the politicians, and this and that, the celebrities, but not so much the Silicon Valley guys. The reason for this is because they're not manly in any sort of way. They don't command any sort of acknowledgement. They don't come in, walk in like Donald Trump and get all the ladies. There's certain men who naturally can get all the ladies if they don't have a dime to their name. Simply because how they look, how they act, you know, how they smell, their cleanliness. They'll get all the ladies, right? But even with the Silicon Valley stuff, they don't experience the amount of groupies that all the other industries experience because they are so nerdy and awkward and unnatural, right? And that's not to rag on them too hard, but it is unnatural for them to get ladies, and they know that it is. The story about them is alive and well, however, says Emily Chang, who wrote an amazing article. She said, at least among the wealthy men who fear they might fall victim. All right. The story about them is alive and well, the founder hounders. They talk about founder hounders a lot, these tech people. And that they're wary of them. They don't want to be caught up by gold diggers. So they talk about them a lot, even though it's not really a lot of them out there. In fact, these guys even have a term for the women, like we already discussed, founder hounders. They talk about it a lot. It's not many of them, because it is unnatural. However, there is some because trying to get that money, right? So, anyways, I'm gonna have to holler at y'all because I'm about to lose all my, memory and stuff, and I gotta free up some memory and make some more videos. And I'll holler at y'all in a second. It's January the 8th. It's January the 4th. I lied to you. 2018.